All right, let's get started. So today, I want to welcome all of our US attendees. Good morning and good afternoon to our attendees joining us from the Netherlands. Welcome to the NetElixir and Alumio webinar that we put together. NetElixir and Alumio are here to present maximizing holiday performance with consumer insights. We are very proud to be joined by our partners over at Alumio. And for those of you who are new to Alumio, Alumio serves as a renowned e-commerce merchants like yourselves across the globe and is dedicated to solve the various challenges that businesses face when it comes to integrations. So thank you so much for Alumio for joining us today. We're looking forward to a great webinar. Next, I'll just like to go over and cover what we'll be discussing today. Here we'll be discussing the 2021 holiday for e-commerce, how to win the right customers this holiday season, and how to leverage holiday data to create future success. As always, there's going to be a quick survey that appears on your screen towards the end of this webinar. I would kindly appreciate it if you take the 2 minutes to complete the survey. Also, if you enjoyed today's discussion and you want to continue the discussion, you can always share your thoughts using hashtag NetElixir Insights on any of our social media channels. Today, we're doing a special giveaway offer. For those of you who are interested in winning this ring, remember that you must have tagged 2 of your friends on one of our social media posts. And also there's a poll question that's going to appear towards the end of this webinar. Whoever is the first one to answer it correctly and also tag 2 of their friends on our social media will be entered to win this prize. All right, so let's dive in. To give you a little background about NetElixir, here at NetElixir, we help e-commerce brands find and engage high-value customers and acquire game-changing insights. And we do so using our proprietary software, which is called Elixir Insights. For those of you who want to know who your high-value customers are and acquire strategies on ways that you can attract more of them, you can head over to our website, netelixir.com, and click on the Let's Chat button now. And one of our growth experts will be able to help you get you started. All right, and then here at NetElixir, we are one of the fastest growing digital marketing agencies, and we have a wheelhouse of consultative, technical, and creative services that we help serve our clients with. You can see that here over to the left. On the top, you can see our partners. We are proud to be premier partners with UPS, Google, Microsoft, Alumio, and Neva. And below, you'll see a list of a few of our clients. As you can see, they range from food to fashion. All right, so this is the moment you've all been waiting for. So I'm happy to welcome our guest speakers today to discuss how to harness the holiday season and improve sales to gain quick success is NetElixir's Senior Director of Client Strategy, Tausif Syed. Tausif?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I have been the Senior Director of Client Strategy at NetElixir, and I've been with the team for 9+ years. So happy to help you understand how we help our customers from food to fashion maximize their holiday success.
Thank you, Tausif.
Back to you, Heather.
Thank you. Next, I'm very happy to welcome our guest speaker, Casper Hartholt, who is the founder and CEO of Alumio. Casper has over 2 decades of web and e-commerce experience, and he creates an ambitious, respectful, and trustful environment for clients, partners, and employees to evolve in the world of information technology. So Casper is here today to present how to use organized data in a future-proof way to yield insights for digitization. So welcome, Casper.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for having me here today at NetElixir. Much appreciated. Yes, as Heather already mentioned, Alumio offers a solution to connect your e-commerce related systems, or basically anything that touches the digital commerce domain. From my background with e-commerce, we decided to basically introduce a new way to connect systems in a proper future-proof way. We collaborate with partners across the globe, serving hundreds of customers, and basically helping our customers to accelerate digital success, which is also what this keynote is about today.
Thank you, Casper. And I just want to remind our audience that if you have any questions throughout this presentation, please submit your questions through the Q&A button that you could locate on the bottom of your screen or via the chat box. So with that, I'd like to get started. Tausif, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Heather. So I think the goal here today is to help retailers understand how to harness the holiday season and improve sales and gain quick success. By now, most of your experiments should already be done. By now, you're in the peak of holiday season, about to hit that lift-off period. So let's look at what are the quick ways and quick wins that we can generate for you. Heather, can we move on to the next slide? So a few questions that we'll attempt to answer today is how will the first post-pandemic holiday season be? And what can retailers do to prepare for holiday success and maximize their sales? And what are some resources that our team can share that can empower retailers to maximize their success? So if you have been watching and if you have been, okay, this was a little quicker, but if you have been watching and following Amazon's unboxed sessions over the last 2 days and NRF's predictions, you will know that there are two things that are happening today. On one end of the spectrum, there is rapid evolution in the space of e-commerce. On the other end of the spectrum, you have consumer demand at its all-time highest and consumer purchasing power at an all-time highest. So how can retailers use this opportunity to bridge that gap? That is what we are trying to do here. And what we believe over the next 8 weeks, over the next most action-packed, most unpredictable weeks ever, we are going to see, we predict about 6 to 7% growth in e-commerce sales. Now, this is across e-commerce retail. And for our counterparts from the Western European region, we are predicting a slightly higher between about 7 to 8% for the Western European region. Heather, I think we can move forward. Thank you. So what is the first resource that we would like to share with our partners and retailers here is this e-commerce sales calendar. We have been publishing this since 2012 onwards. And what this helps you understand is when can you expect the maximum sales coming in, what is the intensity of competition, and what is the expected impact. So what you can see here is the days marked in green. That is where you will see a moderate impact in sales volume. We expect compared to 2020, your sales increase is going to be 5% or under. The high impact areas are going to be the ones marked in orange, where you expect between 5 to 12% higher sales than last year. The one exception for our Western European retailers is going to be the Thanksgiving period marked with that little turkey. This is more predominant for the US market. And in US, this is going to be a very high sales period, a little lesser for Western Europe. The highest intensity periods, most of the retailers already know, that is marked in red with a very high incremental sales expected during these key periods. So you already know them as Cyber 5, you know them as Green Mondays. So these are the core retail periods. What can you expect? One thing that we anticipate, especially as you go closer towards the shipping cutoff dates, is going to be a BOPIS commerce, which is buy online and purchase in store. So we anticipate a huge surge in demand for BOPIS commerce this holiday season. And what can retailers do to connect the offline world with online? And if you can solve that riddle, you have won your customers, not just this holidays, but in the long run too. So you can download this resource from our website. We are happy to share this with the entire team. You can go to netelixir.com/insights and download our holiday readiness kit. This sales calendar is included in our kit. Heather, I think we can move to the next one. So if you will share this as a follow-up with the full team, if you would like to, please go in and download the kit. This will hopefully help you strategize around the biggest shopping weeks in the coming days. What we have looked at is on the shopper side, there are going to be a few shoppers who are holiday specific. These are the folks that you have to focus on, and what we are trying to help you understand here is how can you win these holiday shoppers. So there are a few key personas. One of them is last minute Larry. He's looking for instant gratification. What somebody like Larry comes in and does is they do not invest much time in the pre-purchase research, and they essentially look for top converting products. Your top sellers are going to be a great fit for somebody like Larry. But there is also another aspect to think of here. Your top sellers, most likely towards the end of the holiday period, are going to have, you might run into inventory issues. So one thing that will impact the purchase decision of a last minute Larry is going to be product ratings and user generated content, because Larry trusts what other people are recommending. He's not going to be investing a week or two in doing that pre-purchase behavior, pre-purchase research, but he trusts that others have done it, and he trusts their recommendations. So there might be a little bit of Larry in me. So I can tell from experience that product ratings and user generated content definitely worth investing into. If there's something that you can take away, that would be one recommendation. The next is a discount Danny. I'm sure most of you have come across bargain hunters and know this persona who is very active, especially during the holiday period. One thing that is special about Discount Danny, especially post-pandemic, is they focus on the essentials and not the extravagant products. So deep discounts on luxury products may not move the needle for a Discount Danny, but if you can work on product bundling, especially around the core essential products, she will pick it up. The third consumer that is, again, somebody new post-pandemic is Nervous Nelly. She is new to the world of online purchases. Pre-pandemic, she had never purchased online, but post-pandemic, that is the way to go. She cannot think of a more convenient way to make a purchase. And in order to win over more Nervous Nellies, convenience is the value benefit that retailers should emphasize. So the ease of purchase is most important. So having a frictionless user experience is key. Now, this may be an area that may require more investment, but if there are any quick tweaks you can make to your website in order to maximize performance, this shopper is up for grabs. So she is not going to wait for 20 seconds for a website to load on her mobile device. But if it is easy, the ease of convenience is high, she will definitely purchase and she will stay loyal to the brand. That is what we have seen in post-pandemic. Beyond these holiday shoppers, I think what is most important for every business, and this is the customer type that is unique to their own business, is going to be a high value customer. So winning more high value customers is the key to holiday success. So I would request and urge all retailers to run an RFM analysis and understand the purchase behavior of who your high value customers are. We also have our proprietary AI-driven platform called NetElixir Insights that will help you identify who your high-value customers are, what is their lifetime value, what is their pre-purchase behavior, how do they interact with your brand, and more. So instead of me giving you more details about NetElixir Insights, let's learn more. Let's watch a short video and have a quick look at what this platform can do.
Have you met your high-value customer yet? Do you know what hour of the day they're most likely to search and shop, or what products they're most likely to purchase? NetElixir's proprietary customer analytics platform has the answers. Elixir Insights analyzes your customer data. That way, you'll gain insights into your high-value customers' unique online shopping journey. You'll meet your customers in the right moment, in the right place. High-value customers are more likely to spend 3 to 5 times more compared to the average customer. So, don't miss out on learning more about them. A prediction model is built into our Elixir Insights platform. You will know how often a high-value customer visits your website before purchasing and how long they usually wait between orders. The platform allows you to create more personalized and responsible marketing campaigns so you're reaching the customer on their terms. Easily identify your high-value customers and build out their demographic and geographic profile. Get insights into their preferred products and channels. Stronger profiles mean stronger retargeting and lookalike campaigns to yield better results. There are plenty of other people just like your high-value customer who would love to meet your brand. So, what are you waiting for? Meet your high-value customer now with LXR Insights.
If you look at the purchase behavior on Elixir Insights, that will help you understand what are the areas we can emphasize to win over customers who are most precious for you. What in our behavior we have seen is a small percentage, 7 to 8% of customers contribute upwards of 30% in revenue and retail sales. So please understand who those high value customers are and focus on winning more of those this holiday season. So for the holidays, we also have some specials and holiday packs running with our team. I think if you're interested, if you're looking for last minute holiday deals, please go in and check out our guides, holiday packs. We have Facebook and Google ad designs. We have an SEO holiday audit and a content gift guide, which are specials. If you would like to learn more, please click on the link and let us know you're interested. We are happy to connect with you and help you win the most, best customers this holiday season. With that, let me pass it on to Casper here, and let's talk about not just holiday season, but how can we accelerate our success beyond holidays. So over to you, Casper.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody can hear me. Well, first of all, Tausif, thank you very much for the great insights. I will definitely go and watch the video. We couldn't see it here today, but you'll be definitely sharing that one. And also the great key takeaway where I basically recognized myself in last minute Larry. Actually, I kind of felt like lazy Larry where he's actually having nice hair and not me. But nevertheless, I think it's a great way to show the personas that are relevant for retailers during those high peak season, holiday season. So, and I think also the combining NetElixir's marketing expertise and services is also a great combination with Alumio's solutions. And I think, we can give some nice key takeaways to accelerate growth. So I would like to go to the next slide. So we've been talking about maximizing holiday performance, and I would like to take that a little bit beyond customer insights. So this keynote will be about other aspects on maximize holiday performance, and especially the role of data and integration to grow a business smarter. So now the moment of truth is coming of this year. So the peak season is entering. Your company, your organization is ready to being pushed to the limits, and that will require a maximum effort from your teams and your resources, and that will also require you to have your processes run smoothly. If you could enable the presentation again, that would be very great. Otherwise, I will just do it out of my head, which is also no problem, Heather. Wait. Give me 1 second. I think we're experiencing some technical difficulties. So let me. Can you still hear me? Tausif, could you please let me know if.
Hi, yes.
Heather,
Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Going back to the slide.
No problem. Before we started Alumio as a product and a company, I own and run an e-commerce agency specialized in development of high performing and high growth e-commerce sites. And one of our core capabilities was being agile. And I think this moment is all about being flexible and being able to improvise. And there we are, back again.
Thank you so much, Heather, for being quick.
Yeah, there's Larry again.
Yeah,
good looking Larry.
I really think this looks suits you much better, Casper. And
okay.
Sure.
Well, thanks for the compliment. So if you can go back one slide, I would like to finish that part. And because I was telling about how the peak season pushes your organization to its limits, and I was talking about that it requires maximum effort from your team, and your processes must run as smoothly as possible. Otherwise, the process, the delivery process will fail, and customers will be unsatisfied. And there are a lot of manual repetitive tasks that should be automated, if not already. And your IT systems must work flawlessly. But if we go to the next slide, it actually touches the customer journey, because that one is ever changing. And if you look at the last decade, it first started with just one channel, and now all of these channels keep popping up, and both offline and online, and retailers are trying hard to keep up the pace with the high demanding customers and the changing ecosystem. And so also your customer profile, it extends and it changes constantly. And if you don't have that full profile, you're going to lose opportunities. And next to that, your software is also it remains changing. So you have to introduce new software. When a decade ago, you were just using two types of software: your ERP system and your e-commerce platform. But it keeps growing and growing and changing. And to keep up that growth, you also need to automate certain vital processes to reduce manual labor. And the digital commerce domain is becoming more and more complex. So taking those two into account, I would like to go to the next slide. I'm not in control. I would recommend everybody to always start with an ideal IT blueprint. And I think that's one of the things that's interesting, is that we're focused on marketing, of course, and we're focusing on increasing sales. And with our capability to have an IT blueprint, you'll be able to leverage your business data, and you can make the right decisions to become agile when it comes to software and your integrations. And it's just not only choosing the software that you need for the future to grow, but also choose its APIs. And that's something that I see that is still happening often, where companies choose new software and don't think about connectivity. And these API-driven integrations are getting more and more of the standard, and it will help you to rapidly change and grow in the future. And those integrations that are vital to have the right data at the right place at the right time will also, I would recommend to standardize them to reduce the complexity. And if you reduce the complexity, you can also lower the technical competences to build and maintain those integrations, because the technical people, and I mean the programmers, they are so scarce, so hard to find. And your company is starting to become a more and more data-driven company. So the requirement of having bright people with technical minds, but not developers, is becoming more and more important for your company to grow and to scale over time. But also to learn from moments like your peak season, like your holiday season, to actually understand how and where you can improve your organization to scale harder. Could you please go to the next slide? Thank you. So to make a little statement, and also a little a more meta perspective on what's going on, integrations are becoming more and more important with automating business processes and also keeping up the pace of growth. And Gartner predicts that by 2024, the iPaaS industry will grow by nearly 500%. And that's only, and for the retailers among us that do not recognize what the iPaaS term means, it's integration platform as a service. And what I'm trying to point out is not only that the iPaaS industry is growing, which is the software to create those connections between the software that you use, but it's a general statement that the entire market of integrations and data will be growing very, very fast the next couple of years.
Casper, is it safe to say that iPaaS as a system is ways and means in which you can connect your offline world with, so your point of sale systems that are happening in your brick and mortar stores with let's say all the data that that let's say the sales data on the e-commerce side. So can iPaaS be used to bridge that gap between offline and online?
Absolutely. So a lot of the iPaaS users, they use the software to connect a multitude of systems. And whether it's offline sales from an ePaaS or online sales, all of that data that you're collecting, and first of all, of course, everything needs to be flowing back and forth, but also it allows you to gather that information and use it for marketing, for marketing purposes, for tracking, to set and track KPIs, for example, and to increase your customer satisfaction. So if that answers hopefully that answers your question, but yes, indeed, we see that integration platforms are basically harmonizing both the offline world and the online world.
Absolutely. And the reason I asked some of the very basic and rudimentary questions maybe again is also not all of us may be familiar with some of these terminologies. So I want to break it down to the lowest common denominator and try and understand how we can bridge this gap and help retailers, especially the smaller retailers, who are trying to make the most in this ever-evolving space of e-commerce. So they have lots of data, but fine-tuning and deriving insights from that data is an area where most retailers are struggling.
Absolutely, I can imagine. Also, you have this growth ambitions, but you need to start somewhere, right? And I think that having something in between will help you bridge that gap between starting small and like a startup mindset to actually ramp your business. And the customer profile that you're trying to build up, or to get data to track KPIs or to create those customer insights that you were mentioning during your slides, all boils down to certain data models, which is, for an example, an order of a customer or a customer profile or their address, the products that they purchased or the discounts that they chosen. And it's all of the systems that retailers are working with, or which they want to start working with. They require a certain set of, or actually the data model that's already in place. So an Alumio allows you to basically reuse that data for different purposes, or of course on the other integration solutions.
Understood. Thank you so much for clarifying that, and back to you, Casper.
So with an iPaaS provides you basically a 360-degree customer insights you need for, and to track your KPIs and to increase your customer satisfaction, but also to optimize your margin and to expand revenue. Also to, for example, to predict your purchase demands, to have the right purchase in the right time. There are a lot of solutions popping up right now that allow you to apply artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithms to predict certain things. For example, when you need to purchase your next set of inventory, when you need to increase your margin because your competitors are doing things, and those kind of automations and machine learning aspects are also, all of those solutions will also require you to connect the systems. Otherwise, they will not have the right data to provide you the right advice. And therefore, it's of vital importance to have a solid integration solution in place that reduces complexity and that increases connectivity, and that supports you to be agile in that journey to accelerate and grow your digital success. So what I'm showing here is a exaggerated example of the integration landscape, or basically your IT ecosystem that is becoming more and more complex. And if we go back like a couple of years ago, when you were just having two connections, they were connected point to point, for example, your e-commerce platform and your ERP system, and the e-commerce system had some custom coding to connect to the ERP system. That was a point-to-point integration. And what this shows is that once you start adding new software, you're going to use, they need to be connected. And to be connected, it also needs to be done point to point, because you're basically not able to use that same piece of data. And that starts to become not a future-proof solution, and actually what we call a noodle soup. And here in Europe, we call it spaghetti soup. But it's basically, for you, it will create a situation where you start struggling to keep up the growth, and basically your IT will slow you down. So with an integration solution in place like Alumio, you can standardize the integration and have everything in one central place, which we call a middleware. And it will result in an integration not done by programming code. So that will allow you to easily change and interchange systems without the use of the developer, and educate your team and grow your internal team with more technical minded people, like the people who are Excel gurus, to create those integrations in a way that you're future proof and basically able to interchange a piece of software like your CRM system with another CRM system, or grab the data that is relevant for customer insights and use it, for example, in the system that Tausif was telling you about. So if you look at what I'm showing here, it's the middleware that allows you to connect to all of these sources. It's on the left. And it's, for example, the APIs of your e-commerce system, or some data from your local database, or some files to import new inventory messages, for example. And so what I would recommend is to find a solution that allows you to connect to all of those sources, whether they are more legacy integration ways or more modern ways like REST API or GraphQL. Keep in mind that you're choosing something that allows you to basically use to connect to any kind of system, because a web service is basically something that's going on the back end of your e-commerce site to exchange data. And also make sure that you're finding a solution that is convenient for you to work with. So something that is fully cloud-based, something that is fully in your browser, that you don't need to install things on your operating system. And when you want to buy another operating system or device, you need to reinstall everything again. And with everything in place, you'll get these dashboard information. And so when things are not going smoothly, so data is not flowing seamlessly between your ERP system and your e-commerce system, that you're always up to date about what's going on. And what's also very important to mention is that when you are entering this high peak season during holidays, is that you can also tweak how the data flows between your system. Because if there's like during the day, a moment where you just started your new promotion, it gets picked up and orders will explode, you'll need to make sure that these orders will flow to your back office system, making sure that the orders will be fulfilled correctly. So basically, if you look at the right, you'll be able to use that data for different purposes, whether it's your logistics, whether it's your finance or digital commerce, your data intelligence, and so on. So to maximize your data is a way to maximize your holiday performance. And I think those are these 5 points are the most vital ones. First of all, scalability. So when you're ramping up your sales, you must have a peace of mind when it comes to your IT and your integrations. And you want that flexibility that I was talking about. But also you want to have it secured. You don't want all these kind of custom coded authentications with different systems. You want to have that very, very standardized. And the same counts for the compliancy, because those two will help you to secure your business. And last but not least, the complexity will make sure that you can, reducing the complexity will make sure that you can lower the technical competences within your team. Still a bit loading, yeah. So the key takeaways that I want to give you today is to employ the right people with the right competences in place to overcome the next 5 years of growth, and partner with the best experts in the industry, making sure that they will give you the right information to build your business. And also avoid wasting skilled resources on having them doing repetitive tasks by streamlining processes and integrating your software in a future-proof way, and to provide your team with the right KPIs based on the right data. And that will help you to improve your customer insights and maximize your holiday performance. Yeah, could you please go to the, thank you. So thank you very much for having me today again. I really appreciate it. And I would also like to offer you a free 30-minute consultation with me. If you're interested, please click on the bit.ly link and then easily book a meeting with me. I would be happy to continue the conversation. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, Casper.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Now we're going to take questions from the audience. So give me one moment. So the first question that we received, Casper, this question's for you. But what do you think is the single most important process to future-proof your data?
I would start with the primary e-commerce processes. For example, your orders, your inventory, your customers and products, and so on. Because having ownership and visibility on such a primary process will also give you flexibility and ownership on your data. So that will be my single most important process.
Essentially, if I may break it down, Casper, what you're saying is understanding very clearly where your orders are coming from, when they are coming, and having that entire the background behind that data. So basically tracking it right.
Yes, and also, well, tracking it right, absolutely, but also all of the key takeaways that I gave, making sure that you're able to change or to adapt based on the evolution of digital commerce.
Understood.
Perfect. And with that, I want to throw in our poll question. So everyone that's been paying attention, by 2024, the iPaaS industry will grow nearly by how much? So I'm going to launch a poll right now. This is to enter into win the ring that we've put out. So whoever answers, I see a couple of the right answers coming through.
The panelists don't get to answer, Heather. Unfair.
If you'd like to answer, but now you're behind because I've seen a couple people answer it correctly already. So it's the first person that answered it correctly, you are entered to win. So the options were 350%, 450%, 500%, and 600%. And it looks like the majority of our audience did get it correct. The correct answer was 500%. So thank you for all of you participating. We'll be in contact with the winner. So 1 second. All right, now I'm going to stop sharing. Let's go back to some questions. So if any of our audience has any questions, please feel free to continue to send them through the Q&A button or via the chat. The next question I have is for Tassif. So Tassif, what is your holiday prediction for the apparel industry?
Apparel is one of the industries that has recovered really strong, especially in H2. We have seen some strong performance numbers. And we expect apparel to go up by about 26% year on year in the last the holiday weeks. But similar to apparel, I think every industry has its own unique nuances. So if there are, if any of you are interested on what is the trend in your specific industry, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to get back with our predictions for each specific industry separate.
Thank you, Tassie. And Alumio, so Casper, I have this question for you, which I'm very excited for, but what are the challenges that you face when there's so much change in technology, and how have you overcome them in your long professional journey?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And I think that's one of my main drivers, is to always be on top of the market developments. So I want to know what is going on and what is the new next big thing. And I'm doing all this research, and I'm having this deep interest in technique, although I can't program, or I'm not a technical guy. I'm too creative for that. I think having our and I think the main challenge is to having our product further developed to support these changes, because that's how we came where we are right now, but also what our vision is for the future. We need to be adaptive to the market changes and new technologies.
Definitely. Tassie, if you had a question come in, so we have to plan and develop an app for our e-commerce website. What are some pros and cons about it?
I think app is a fantastic idea, but again, you should go back to knowing the customer. So if you have, in our conversation today, we have our entire focus has been who your customer is. So if your customer is in the right audience segment, in the millennials or younger phase, who interacts actively and engages with an app, absolutely yes, that is the way to go. The engagement is higher. You own the customer data. They are taking all the action within your ecosystem, so you have more visibility into their purchase funnel, and where users are dropping off in that purchase funnel. But at the same point in time, if your audience segment is 55 and above, in those scenarios, apps may not be the best place to go to. So it depends on your customer segment. If you can give us a couple of examples, I'm happy to dive in and give you more specific insights.
Thank you, Tassie. All right, next question is for Casper. So what would you say are the key benefits to using an iPaaS integration rather than a point-to-point?
Yes, and it kind of made me think about the noodle soup again. And I think it's basically having something in between, like an iPaaS, is reducing the risk of having a decentralized and unstandardized integrations with potentially outdated programming techniques, or faulty or outdated programming techniques, where nobody really knows what is going on. And because an integration platform takes away that burden of that part of the technology, standardizes everything there. So I think that would be my key benefit. If you want to grow, and you want to scale, and you want to connect more systems to your ecosystem, then that's a key benefit of using a solution like Alumio.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's way better to have everything well organized. And I think that's something Alumio does really well. I just want to end it off. We're getting close to time right now, but I want to ask both of you one more question. It's like, what are any new creative efforts are you looking forward to implementing in the next year? And are there any 2022 holiday predictions that you have for us to share?
Fantastic question. I think given the unpredictability of today's times, I wish we had a crystal ball. We could talk a lot more about it. But I'm very excited about what Amazon has revealed. In fact, in the last 48 hours in their unboxed event, I think they are trying to ramp up and build that entire ecosystem really well. There are lots of product innovations that have rolled out. So I definitely foresee two things. One, I think retailers have to get smarter in terms of where they're investing and how they are looking at each platform. So the Googles, the Facebooks, and the Amazons of the world, they are focusing on ramping up their own ecosystem and making it more efficient. At the same point in time, retailers have to understand and make decisions, business decisions, on how to balance between these major players. So that I think is going to be an interesting evolution that will ramp up more in 2022. Casper, what are your thoughts?
My creative efforts, personally, I will not share that with you today. But if I look at the market, there are some interesting things going on. And the funny thing is that you mentioned Amazon, and I was about to mention Amazon as well, but from a different perspective. So a lot of people, if we name Amazon, people think about like their website and their ways to sell your products. And if I talk about Amazon, I think about the service that they are creating for companies like Alumio to make the lives of our users more easy, but from a technology perspective. So let me give you an example. A lot of companies, they still manually receive a PDF file with a purchase order and then copy, like basically retype it into the back office system. And our platform could potentially standardize it, but we're missing like a piece of technology, how to interpret that PDF. So we can reinvent the wheel, but we can also leverage one of Amazon's solutions, which is called Textract. And so when Alumio will pick up a PDF file, which can be sent to that service, we get back the data object to automatically enter it as a purchase order in the ERP system. So those kind of I really enjoy those kind of services, and I would like to implement more of those in the future with Alumio.
So I think one takeaway which is common here, which I think, like you rightly said, that Amazon has set the ball rolling on, is the ease and convenience for the end customer. So
yes.
That I think is the way to go. So I think even for businesses, that should be the focus area. How can we make life easier for our end customer? And that
Correct.
ease and convenience is going to be a major factor, I think, in 2022.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's eliminate those barriers. But I just want to thank our audience, and thank you, Casper and Tasi, for joining us today to give us this insightful knowledge. We're going to be sharing the presentation and also all the resources that were shared throughout today's presentation. You'll be receiving an email with that. And also at the end of today's presentation, there's a quick survey. So if you can kindly take 2 minutes just to fill out that survey, I'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you so much for all our attendees in the US and all our attendees in the Netherlands. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Tasi and Casper, for an awesome presentation. Hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great